Hey guys, we're going to be going to another another Alpherg clear. Using a little bit of a cheaper team, we're not going to use premiums, we're not going to use the critical limited units like Laura and Venera. We're going to go in an Earth team with Sky and Zidane as our DPS. So here's the party. Let's get in here and get it clear, and then I will show the gear, explain the team, and I'm also going to post a turn chart in the comments. Alright, so to start off, we're going to use Aerith to dual cast from Carbuncle, Reflect, and then Protect +2 so we can stack on the boss a little bit safer. Phasey will just cover. And now we're going to dual wield Stardust Ray with Eileen. We're going to triple Stardust Ray with Zahn. We're going to triple Stardust Ray with Zidane. And we're going to triple Stardust Ray with Sky. So we're going to go ahead and chain all these together. And this is going to give us that 100 count chain score on the first turn, because we're not going to chain to 100 on the kill round. So there we go, perfect. Alright. Some magical attacks. There's magical fire and wind damage, which our Phasey is immune to, and Zahn is passive provoking. Alright, so turn 2, we're just going to refresh refresh the buffs on the boss with Aerith with reload. Refresh cover. Eileen is going to solid breaker. That's a 200% stone killer. And now Zahn is going to critical mirror on Eileen to copy that buff. Sky will shift and get a stack of her LB. And Zidane will just triple LB fill as we begin stacking up and getting ready. So Sky is now at 1 stack, Zidane is at 0 stacks. Yeah, this is a little bit of a setup clear, because we got to stack Zidane and Sky multiple times, but Eileen's going to make that very, very simple. Okay, so on turn 3, we're going to start singing the STMR song with Aerith. We'll just keep covering with Phasey. We'll go ahead and use Eileen in the base form to entrust to Zidane so he's ready for later. We're going to go to the base form with Sky, and we're going to imbue Wind with Sky and imbue Wind with Zidane using the Craftsman's Book. That's going to be the wrong element, but it's going to let us stack even safer on the boss. And then Zahn will just critical himself to keep that Stone Killer buff refreshed, because we need to keep that for the entire fight until we're ready for later in the fight. Okay. So because we're imbued with Wind, we're going to be dealing basically no damage to the boss as we continue to stack our DPS. We were imperiled, but Phasey has enough resist even with the imperil, so she's still immune. So we're going to go ahead and shift Sky and get a second stack of Sky on this turn. We can just guard Eileen, refresh the cover and killer buff on Zahn, and then, let's see, we just fill LB gauge with Zidane. Make sure you don't re-imbue Zidane that turn with the reload button, because by imbuing on turn 3, it'll be gone on turn 8, which is the turn we're going to be killing. So we got a time to where it wears off exactly on the correct round. Okay, so we're going to now go to the base form with Sky and just do something. Don't guard. Just whatever you do, just go, use whatever you want. We're just going to cast a spell so we don't do anything to lose her stacks. Now on turn 5, we're going to shift Zidane and get a stack of his shifted LB, and then we will entrust him with Eileen, and then Zahn and Phasey can just repeat. Zahn is keeping that killer buff going, and Phasey is just keeping cover up for us. So at this point, Zidane is at 1 stack, Sky is at 2 stacks. Alright, so we're going to use another LB on Zidane, and we're going to shift and use another shifted LB of Sky. And at this point, Sky is at 3 stacks, Zidane is at 2 stacks, so they're both at maximum. And as you see, because of the Wind imbue, we're dealing basically no damage. We're going to also use the LB on, the shifted LB on Phasey for the AoE Earth Amplify. Eileen can just, we'll just use Soul Reactor here to fill LB gauge. Yeah, we didn't, because Zidane needed more LB. It's fine. And then Zahn can refresh. Okay. So turn 7, We're going to get ready for the clear. We're going to kill on turn 8, though. So there we go. Alright, so we're going to use Eileen to just entrust to Zidane again, so he's ready to go. He can just normal attack to fill LB gauge, doesn't matter. We're going to go to the base form with Skye, and we're going to use her Magnus to Spear in Peril and 87% defense break. We're going to use Phasey to imbue Earth with beach flags. And then Zahn can spread buffs. You know what I forgot to do is Imperil Earth with Eileen, which is a big whoops. Yeah, I should have done that. Let me change my chart. So we're actually going to do quite a bit less damage than I made a mistake. We do have 100% Imperil from Phasey, but Eileen didn't give the good Imperil. Okay, so on the kill turn, we're going to go ahead and use Aerith to Shifted LB. That's going to give us a 400% stat buff. And now we're going to kill. So we're going to use Zahn to just double cast Stardust Ray. Eileen will cast, where is it? Pile Driver. And actually, this is going to imperil. Actually, that'll imperil for us, so we're fine, because they're going to chain first. And then Phasey is going to double cast Stardust Ray. Skye is going to Shifted LB. I adjusted my turn chart, by the way, for, what is Eileen's skill called? Pile Driver Plus. Let me write this in my chart real quick. We're going to do that on turn 6 in the future. Okay, and we're going to do Zidane. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and chain the Stardust Ray users, and then we're going to use our cappers and cap it. So let's go ahead and chain this up to build the chain. That also imperils before the damage, and then use these other two. Big damage. Hopefully the two of them together capped. I couldn't quite see, too many numbers flashing on the screen. 13 billion, so the two of them together did damage cap, and we didn't use premiums or the big 90% break. So, okay. Let me go ahead and show you the damage breakdown, and then we'll show you the team afterwards. So Zidane carried that one with 7.7 billion, and then Skye brought up the rest, but Skye was important for the break as well, so combined, the two of them did the damage. Yeah, this is really hard to damage cap if you don't have the premium, like, breakers. They're not actually premium breakers, the good breakers, like Laura or Venera. But anyway, as you can see, it's still doable, so we did it. So let me go ahead and show you the team that we used real quick. So, Earth Party, Aerith is on Carbuncle for Reflect, and she's got dual cast. So, Shift form of Aerith is just using dual cast, and then Zidane's STMR, she sings, and on the kill turn, she does a 400% stat buff. Phasey in the Shift form has 160 or better to fire and wind resist. Other than that, she just literally covered every turn. And she did the 25% Earth Amplify and the Earth Imbue for the party. And she chained Stardust Ray. I gave her an Ice Weapon, so we multi-element chained. We had Earth Imbue plus Ice Weapon, so we build the chain a little bit quicker. Eileen is dual wielding. It's important she's actually dual wielding because she can't multicast. So she's dual wielding with an Ice Weapon in the base form. She's got 12 LB fill per turn, and she's got lots of fill rate. So there we go. She's got max fill rate, max fill per turn. And then in the Shift form, same thing, just some fill rate. Dual wielding, because we do the chain. We do the chain count score on turn 1, and she can't multicast, so she's dual wielding, so she can multi hit Stardust Ray. And anyway, the big reason she's here is, for one thing, entrusting, but more importantly, the 200% Stone Killer buff that we stole. And in the base form, she entrusts every turn almost for Zidane. Mastermind Zahn is our passive provoker, full evasion, TMR so we can multicast, Ice Weapon, and that's it. He did the buff spreading, and he helped support chain. Zidane, base form, just using Craftsman's Secret Book so we can imbue wind. That is optional, but as you saw, it makes it so you deal basically no damage to the boss while you're stacking up. Shift form, big damage, double dagger. We didn't use Ling, so there's no dagger in peril, so his damage was quite nerfed. But I used Ling on the previous clear. I didn't want to use Ling on every single budget run. So maxed LB damage, 250 Aqua, and 300 Stone. So he did most of the killers, good damage. Sky, base form, make sure she's wearing her TMR. We didn't actually use Riku's pouch, so ignore that. Craftsman's book, though, so she can imbue herself with wind. Shift form, damage. A non-elemental spear. Unfortunately, I don't have the good spear, so my best spear is this janky 140 attack power spear. But, you know, it worked. You know, one day I'll get Mazurka's STMR or something. Anyway, there's her build. Stone Killer. Stone. What's the other one? Stone and Aqua Killer. 100 Aqua, 250 Stone, and yep, and that was the team. Okay, there was my cheaper run on Alpherg. See you guys next time.